Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Legion Talk. And what we're going to be talking about is, here we go again, because the gift that just keeps on giving is this.
Yeah.
Weird, weird,
Yeah.
weird, weird.
Yes, Rachel Zegler, she is back and she's better than ever. From The Independent, Rachel Zegler responds to outrage about her playing Latina Snow White. Skin is white as snow. Latina Snow White. In new Disney movie, uh, it's not just her. It's not her well, it wasn't her personally when it came out. It was that we knew what you were doing. You were doing this for diversity and equity inclusion, which is all the rage right now. But also that Rachel Zegler came out and decided to be a raging awful bent. Rachel Zegler has responded to critics unhappy about her being cast as a Latina Snow White. Great. Make it worse for your movie that has yet to be released. The 23-year-old retard West Side Story actor has what was announced as the star of the forthcoming live action remake Snow White, but she has received significant backlash over after some 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 no. No, it wasn't some. It wasn't just people like me who were saying, "Hey, man, like, y'all are doing this for the wrong reasons. You're doing it because you want to be like, again, diversity, equity, equity and inclusion, which is stupid." No, you pissed off everybody that loves Snow White, even people on the other side of the aisle. So you can't make the whole white supremacist far right trope bigots about the fictional character being portrayed by a person of color. Ugh. Who is this? Myra Butt. Yeah, well, you're definitely a butt, you big dumb. Previously denying that the comics affected her, Zegler has now hit out at those condemning her. Oh, great, she attacked the fans again. It's why she got it's why she got lambasted in the first place. Disney got the majority of the backlash until Rachel Zegler decided to vomit garbage all over the fans with all this it's the typical thing. She was Amandla Stenberg from The Acolyte before Amandla Stenberg decided to do her thing. They're roughly about the same age, and they're both fucking retarded. The actor said she was inspired by Brandy Norwood, who starred as the first black actor to play Cinderella in the live action remake of the movie in 1997. Nobody cared. Nobody cared when that movie came out. Nobody cared. Nobody had a problem with Brandy playing that. First off, Brandy could sing, and guess what? Guess what? This was not why they did it. The first black actor to play Cinderella. No, they didn't advertise it like that. They advertised it because Brandy was extremely popular in 1997, and Whitney Houston, who again was extremely popular in 1997, they did Cinderella in a live action remake, and it did very, very well. The difference wasn't full of DI, and you didn't attack people calling them racist, sexist bigots. Do you see how that works? And this is a quote from Rachel because she's stupid. Quote, I grew up in a house where that was Cinderella. Obviously, we watched the cartoon, but a child's mind is the most amazing thing. Where it's just like, okay, that's Cinderella. It's that's not a You're not imagining it. You're watching the Brandy version of live action version of Cinderella. The blonde hair, blue eyed, blue dress Cinderella from the 1950s cartoon is also Cinderella. No, that's not what you said about Snow White. That's not what you said. You said it's outdated. That basically, basically, that Prince Charming is stalking her, and that's where you get the weird, weird. Also, Hilary Duff is Cinderella in a Cinderella story. That's true. That's true. Nobody had a problem with that either. Quote, I was able to comprehend those things at a young age. No, you weren't, because you've ended up so screwed up that, quite frankly, or you're so weak-willed in the mind that you've been molded by modern identity politics. So you don't get to. I'm going with the latter, that you're so weak-willed and weak-minded that you've been, she's like, oh my god, diversity is so great. Yeah. Brandy Norwood gave her verdict on Zegler's casting, as she said, quote, I know Rachel will be absolutely incredible in this role. I doubt it. That's not a shot at Brandy. Not a shot at Brandy. It's a shot at the fact that Rachel Zegler is an awful, horrendous human being. And I don't attack actors and actresses unless they literally vomit on the audience and call you all sorts of names. Sharing her own insights, 26 years after playing the iconic role, she advised Zegler, quote, you're not taking on this role to fit the mold of the critics. Well, no, that's actually true. You're not. You're not. You're doing this for every little. This is where I have a problem with this one, because this was not an issue in the 90s. And this is Brandy. She was, I mean, she's worth multi-millions, more than Rachel Zegler. She doesn't need to do this, but she has to toe the DEI line. Every little Colombian girl. How many Colombian girls are going to see this movie? I'm going to wait. Do you have a demographic for that? Are we going to have people standing outside the theater or at the box office, be like, going, are you a Colombian person seeing this movie? No, because you know what? That's super fucking racist. That's what it is. I get to see themselves in a role like a Disney prince. Oh, all right. You're doing this for the little girl that you once were. That's fine. That part I get. Who grew up without that represent ugh, who grew up without that representation of her Colombian culture. She's half white, by the way. Rachel Zegler. She's half white. I mean, I'd be willing to start a GoFundMe to send her punk ass back to fucking Colombia. Do you want to see how that works? Do you want to see how that plays out? Do you want to see how that country works? No, because in Colombia, being a Colombiano, you don't get to spew this bullshit. You're struggling for food, struggling not to get murdered or graped in the streets. You are showing her two multimillionaires basically literally scissoring each other, which is this is so horrible. Brandy, you've literally tarnished your reputation. Your Cinderella movie is going to tank. Because quite frankly, nobody's going to want to watch it anymore, because you just literally dove into identity politics because you couldn't have a backbone and shut the hell up. You are now showing her that anything is possible for someone who looks like, and that is the most important job in the world, to judge people based on their skin color. Oh God. Look, there's more. Look how long this article is. Oh, oh no, it ends. Never mind. It's still really long. All right. Ugh. Although some said that princess's name comes from her complexion being skin as white as snow. That's the quote. That's what it's from. Zegler revealed that the new movie invents a new origin story for the name. Uh, let's see how that works out for you. I'm going to go with horrendously massive flop. Rachel Zegler is a giant bent. Brandy just torched any credibility that she has for anybody to see any of her movies ever again, which, of course, the last movie I saw her do was last Christmas. And it would didn't I don't even think it trended on Netflix's top 10. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't understand these people. I don't understand them because these are people who hate you. They're people who, quite frankly, want to preach and vomit their garbage all over you. There are also people who quite frankly, stand there and lecture you and say, well, you need to be a better person about this, about this, about this. And then, of course, they decide to literally drop kick you in the sack about politics, saying who you should vote for. Well, that's very, very progressive of you to cram all of your horrendous ideologies on the American people and the world. Thank you, Rachel, for this. You're a gem. Quite frankly, your movie's gonna flop so fucking hard that I might actually have to find a back brace for all the videos I'm going to lug around and carry because of you. Thank you, Rachel.
Weird.